Hello and welcome or welcome back. I'm Misty. This is my channel, Misty at Skeeter Jones, and today I'm bringing you some craft with me. I'm bringing you some things that unfortunately a sale didn't go through, and then I don't have a wait list on any of these items, so I'm bringing them back. They're from back in April, and some pieces I've already made, and we'll do some craft with me. But first of all, I wanted to address what I mentioned yesterday was that I would try to go live today, but I have an appointment this morning, and then I'm going to see my mom. I'll be with her for the rest of the week, so I really won't be able to go live today. But after my appointment, I may be able to jump in and join some live chat. So I'm going to attempt to put this video up as a premiere, and hopefully I'll be able to jump into the chat when the video starts, hoping my appointment will be over in time for that. So all of that to say, let's turn some light on. There we go. That might look a little bit better to you. So if you're interested in anything in this video for purchase, just contact me, skeeterjonesthings at gmail, and we will work it out there. We are in the July shipping cycle. July packages will go out the 30th and 31st. And so yeah, that's it. Here are the items that are, some are already, some are ones that I did not make. They're just, I guess, branded pieces or manufactured pieces that I didn't make. And then there are all of the things needed to actually craft some pieces with you. And then right here are the pieces that unfortunately I'm having to offer up because the sale didn't go through. So I guess unfortunate for me, but fortunate for someone who might want those pieces. But we're going to start right off out of the gate with a craft piece, and it'll be craft with me. This is just part of my design process. So this was a single earring, and I think that is some stone down in there that forms these little flower petals. And what I had in mind was something to go with this, but then the styles just didn't really match up. This was a pair of screwback earrings, and the screw was loose on one of them, so I went ahead and took it off and then filed it down so it wouldn't be sharp or rough back there. And then I was going to glue it to something with some epoxy, but I figured I would rather attach that with rings and not glue it. So I had this little necklace that had a different, let me lay it out the way that it was when I got it. It needed cleaning. Here we go. And as I was cleaning it, I noticed that this little part that was in the middle right here, there was a little extra part with some more rhinestones and stuff right here in the center. That piece had some loose stones in it. They weren't gone, but they were loose and would be gone soon, I suppose. So I just went ahead and removed that and figured I would do something with this little screw back right here, mounting all of that together and gluing it. But then I decided to get all handy and take the Dremel and drilled holes right here and right here and right here, so I could attach this in the center just like that. And it needs new chain, so I got this chain from my stash and we'll be attaching that to it. So I'll save the matching screw back for another project, this single earring for another project. So this should be a pretty quick project. This is the first time I've ever used a Dremel, was when I drilled the holes in this, and thankfully it turned out well. The earring got really hot as I was drilling it, which I guess I should have expected. Let's see, I'll need 3 little tiny jump rings. This is one that I've been kind of excited about. Wanted to really do something with this earring because it was so pretty and the screw back on it was loose, so I couldn't really sell it as a pair of earrings. So this might go kind of quick. Drilling the little holes went relatively quickly. I just didn't film it because I didn't really know how that would go, with it being my first time to use the Dremel. So I laid it out first to know about where I wanted these to attach, and they're going to attach just like that. So I'll start at this bottommost one right here. Honestly, I hope these little jump rings are a narrow enough gauge to fit through these holes. Either I'm crooked with it or the gauge is too wide and I'm going to have to just abandon the project, or maybe take some links out of that chain and use those as jump rings. Let's try this one more time. It's terrible starting right off the bat and having my project fail. Okay, there we go. It fits. And the nose of the pliers there is kind of getting in the way of the little drill hole fitting over it, but I got it to work. Okay, I love coming right out of the gate with a crafty piece. There we go. Had it upside down. And then now attaching these little pieces here. And I wasn't really noticing, but I have two little eyelets right here. So I may have to go back and drill two more little holes right there and right there. I may just snip this off though and file it down. I'm going to go ahead and attach these first and see how it looks, kind of falling free right there. And if I like how that looks, I'm just going to snip that little eyelet in that one. That might be too far away for you to see. These two little eyelets right here. I might just snip those off and file them down if I like how it looks without them being attached. If I don't like how it looks, then I'll go back and drill holes here and here so I can put rings through those little eyelets right there. But for now, I'm just going to attach it here at the top where I've already drilled some holes, and we'll see how that looks. So hopefully I'll be able to be in the live chat with you right now as you're watching this. I'm filming it on Tuesday. You'll be seeing it on Wednesday. As I'm filming it, actually, about an hour from like real time. I'm filming it at, it's about 11:40 right now, so in about 20 minutes, today's video, Tuesday's video that is going to start up. But I'll be filming right here with you. Yeah, I may need to put holes right there and attach that. Let's see how it hangs after I get this other one attached to it. There we go. And there we go. We'll close this up. Actually, I think I like how that looks. There it is. I think I like how that lays without those attached. Let's see, it depends. I'll have to hold it upright, I guess, and see if when it's on, if these are going to want to kind of come up in front like that. Because if they want to do that, then I'm going to need to put some rings right here to keep that from happening. But if it hangs more like this, with, you know, where these kind of come along the bottom side, that actually is what I want. So let me go get in front of the mirror and hold this up and see how it will lay when someone's wearing it. Okay, so here's what we got. When it's on, oops, I'll have to close that ring back up. I didn't close it good. But when it's on, when it's at a shorter length, like worn up kind of higher around the collarbone or even at choker length, it lays perfectly just like this. But if it gets longer and it hangs down, these two little parts right here tend to want to go in front of this, I'm going to call it a medallion, tend to kind of want to go in front of it. So I'm going to make it a shorter length, like a collarbone length, so it will lay like this when it's worn. And it gives some really nice movement when that, without it being attached right here, because these two little swags kind of are free to move, and it really makes these are some really, really sparkly crystals, and it really catches the light and makes them sparkle when they can move a little bit. So I like that. So what I'm going to do is just take these little eyelets off right here and right here. Also, I held them up to the medallion, and when I did that, that made these two want to tip forward and roll down, and it just didn't look attractive. So the best all-around look will be to take these two little eyelets off, file that down so it'll be smooth, and then wear this as a shorter necklace. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and reclose this this jump ring, get it rethreaded back through the medallion right here. So everything doesn't always go really extra smooth on the first take. And a project sometimes just has to morph as you go. I usually do go into a project with an idea in mind, but sometimes the finished project is nothing at all like the idea that I started out with. Okay, let's see. That is closed now without any gaps. And there she is, and she lays just like this, with it just perfectly like that when it's worn. So here is the new chain. The chain that's on here is full of wear. So we'll go ahead and take that off. And attach the new chain. So it took some time for me to stand up in front of the mirror and really decide what I was looking at and how it was going to lay and all that stuff. So right now you're seeing this on Wednesday, but as I'm filming it on Tuesday, the Tuesday video just dropped. So hopefully, as I'm filming this right now, you're enjoying the Tuesday video. And then hopefully my appointment will be over in time tomorrow for me to jump into the live chat while you're watching this video. Okay, so if I just attach it right here, the two sides of this chain are different lengths. But if I keep this length here, and then with this additional length right there, if that's going to be the right drop length that I need for that shorter necklace, let's see. Yeah, that'll be about a 7.5 inch drop. So we're gonna do that. And I'll need 2 more of those tiny jump rings. To attach this chain. But first let's get the chain at the same length on both sides. I'll need to open it up right here. Let's see, let me make sure I'm opening up in the right place. Okay, there we go. Where's that seam? There it is. This one's going to be our item number 1 for today's show. I just wanted to start right off the bat with some craft. I get some really good feedback about the crafting videos, so I want to just give the people what they want. Okay, so now attaching the new chain. That old chain was just, it was just too worn. And there we go, and there we go. So relatively quick project here. Not quick when you count the fact that I had to drill the holes and all that, but as far as just the assembly, it's pretty quick. Drilling the little holes in there actually took some time. Okay. There we go. Nice and shut. And here she is. I really liked this necklace, but those settings in the middle were just loose, and didn't see a way really to keep the stone in there without adding some glue. But then the way these settings are, the glue would have interfered with the way the light comes through the stones, and they just wouldn't have looked nice. So that's why I took that off. And then this little earring with the loose screw back was just the right thing to fill in that space. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can get a closer look at that. So pretty. And the little swag here just kind of grazes right along the bottom of the medallion like that when it's worn. And the drop should be about 7.5. Yeah, there it is, 7.5. There is an extender. Looks like about a 2.5 inch extender. And I wouldn't recommend using the extender though, just because I think it just lays its best when it's shorter. I may take off some of that. No, I'll keep it. I'll leave it just like it is. But what I'm going to do, I don't have my file right here with me, so off camera, I'm going to snip this eyelet right here, and the coordinating one on the other side of that one right there. I'm going to snip these two little eyelets and file it down right there so it'll be smooth. And this is item number 1, this sweet little handcrafted necklace. And then we're going to jump on to things that are already made. There will be some more craft with me in this video, but this one's going to be number 1, and we are going to do this one for $8. And I do price my handmade pieces less than what I would list them on eBay. I will list this one on eBay for probably anywhere from $16 to $20. So there we go, that's our item number 1. Let's back out again just a little bit. First, I'm going to bring, before I bring in the crafted pieces and the craft with me pieces, just all the regular pieces I would have had today. Before I do that, I'm going to bring in these items that I'm having to re-offer. So this was from back in April. The buyer bought these and paid for them actually, and couldn't get in touch with her for her shipping address. I kept trying to get in touch with her by email and couldn't get her. So I'm going to refund her as soon as, if you're watching this, if you recognize these pieces and you are this buyer, email me so I can make sure I have your correct email address, because I'm kind of thinking that might have been the problem, that maybe she changed her email address, and so my attempts to contact her, weren't going through. So if you recognize these pieces, contact me back through email, and then I will get you refunded. But meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and just offer these pieces back up. So starting off, I think these came from some Gigi's Gems. This one can use some more cleaning. It has what looks like some hairspray and stuff on it. I did clean it, and some of the stones cleaned up rather easily, like this. These are little acrylic stones here, but then some of them still have, a nice coating of like hairspray or something like that on them. But I'll do some more cleaning on that and see if I can get some more of that off and shine those up. But this is gold tone, and with little faux pearls, and these are acrylic faux pearls. Then these little clear acrylic stones in between, and it's just a long layering necklace. It's simple and it's cute. It's about almost a 14-inch drop, and this one is $1. I may or may not be able to get all this off. If I'm correct that this is just hairspray and stuff like that on the surface, it will definitely come off, and it's looking like that's what it is. But just do know that there is a chance I might not be able to get all of that off if it's not hairspray. So this one is just going to be $1. What is this note that's in here? Oh, I don't know. Okay, and this is going to be our number 2. Yeah, this was from way back in April. Okay, so this will be our number 3. That's a messy looking 3. There we go. And I think this was a lot of just little beaded bracelets. Yeah, it is. Just these different little stones. This pastel, little green and pink, just different shades of blue here. This is some howlite, it looks like, with a little turtle on there. And some more howlite with another turtle. And here is, I don't know what the stone is, but I have a little turtle, little howlite turtle with that one as well. And then this stone. And let's see, the stretch seems to Well, it's not awesome with this one. It's really great with the white one. It's not awesome with the green and white one. And when I say not awesome, it's passable, but it doesn't have a whole bunch more life left in it. The stretch doesn't. And that's the case too with this white one. This white one is better with its stretch than these two. So the ones with decent stretch are this one and this one. Not awesome. And decent. So these are the ones with decent stretch. And these are the ones with stretch that is not awesome. It's got a little bit of life, but not a whole bunch of life. And if you're a crafter, it's a great supply of beads for $4. That's a good price for all of these different beads. And they're all stone. This one right here, the gray and pink, might be glass, but I think it's stone. Or all the rest of them definitely are stone. So this one is number 3 for $4. See, this one is going to be, let's bring a piece of paper over here so you can see better. Oh, I remember this. It was just a bunch of different colored chain. All these different links. And you have this mesh chain, gunmetal, and this silver tone, and then a gold tone rope chain, a gold tone lobster clasp. I don't see any wear on it really to speak of. And it's layered with different lengths. The shortest one is the gold tone rope chain, and it is 13.5 inches on the drop. The gunmetal mesh chain is a little bit more than 15 inches, and then the silver tone chain is 17 inches. And those are all drop measurements, and then you have a 3-inch extender. And there's no wear on it. I don't see any copper showing through. Very, very well taken care of in its prior life. And I do not see a brand on it. Very pretty chain. So this one is $4, and it's our number 4 for today. Number 4 for $4. All of these gorgeous, gorgeous chains. Okay. Just a handful more left. This is some more chain. Silver tone and gunmetal. And it's like this type of chain. Sort of like mesh, I suppose. And it's layered as well. It's all silver tone and gunmetal. You have this more narrow chain here that's gunmetal. This one that's silver tone. And then this wider one that's sort of this pattern of alternating gunmetal and silver tone. So we have the shortest one is the small silver tone. And we have an 11-inch drop there, a 15-inch drop on the gunmetal chain, and on the wider chain with the alternating pattern, we have a 17-inch drop there. And then overall, we have a 2-inch, maybe 3-inch. Let's take a look here. Maybe about a 2 to 2.5 inch extender on that. Love the drape and movement on this one. Love that. It's about a 1/4 inch wide on this one. And it has some thickness to it. I really like that. So this one is number 5 for $3. So, yeah, I tried a few times to reach this buyer. I really, really hope she's watching. Just contact me with your correct email address. I'm supposing maybe that is the problem. The reason you weren't answering my emails is probably just because I was reaching out to you with the wrong address. So I would like to get your money refunded back to you. Okay, this is going to be number 6. We have a 3-inch extender on a, this is layered, choker length. So we have a 7-inch drop on the shortest layer and an 8-inch drop on the longest layer. And this is a Leah Sophia. Right there. And it's these pretty little crackly glass, just free-form beads with little tiny faux pearls, silver tone chain. Very delicate and dainty and feminine. Let's see, let's get these all untwisted from one another. So these layers can lay separately. You can see how they look. There we go. That's a better look at it right there. And it's gorgeous. So, so pretty. And that one is number 6 for $5. That's my text notification. So it sounds like I'm getting some, somebody's really trying to get in touch with me. Let me take a look at that and see what's going on. Oh, I have a grocery order coming and it's letting me know that I have some items not available in my grocery order. Okay, I'll take that. It didn't say not available. It said that there were some substitutions. It was saying that the beef flavored dog food that I had selected was not available and is the chicken flavored dog food. Okay, I don't think the dogs will mind. So I said okay to the chicken dog food. This is Snowflake Obsidian. These pieces, especially now that I'm seeing this one, these came from a Gigi's Gems, because I remember this piece coming in a Gigi's Gems lot. Snowflake Obsidian is so pretty. It's just speckled and it just looks like it has bloom in it. I don't know what the other mineral is that causes that, because obsidian is normally just black, like onyx. So it has this strong magnetic closure. There's some, I guess, magnet oxidation. Let's get that wiped off right there. It doesn't affect at all the magnetizing properties of the magnet. It just makes it look dusty. So there we go. And the dust is magnetized. Can you see that little magnetic dust right there? So I'll take some tape. I don't have any tape handy, but I'll take some tape and get that off. It's not dirt or anything like that. It's just magnet dust. I really don't know what to call it except for that. But you have these really pretty twist-shaped obsidian beads with these faceted glass beads in between. It's a very classy type of look. And I like the detail of the twist shape on these obsidian beads. And that pattern with the bloom is just so, so pretty. So this is a longer one. It's about an 18-inch drop. And it is number, what are we up to now? Number 7. Way too early for me to start losing track. Oh no, losing track of what number I'm on. Usually I mark my fingers. I just now marked my sweater. I have a few tricks up my sleeve for that, so hopefully it'll come out of my sweater. It's a Sharpie, so I have had Sharpie come out of fabrics before, so I'm not too concerned yet. Okay, here's the last of these pieces, and I believe this was a Chico's, if I remember correctly. A big, chunky, yes, Chico's. And these are beautiful ceramic beads with all these beautiful Mediterranean, this reminds me of like Greek island type of colors. And these are all ceramic beads in silver tone. Are they all ceramic? I think there might be some acrylic. I think these right here are acrylic. But this is ceramic. Those little ovals right here are ceramic. These larger ones are. These cubes are. But it's just really, really pretty. I love this. It's very summery. Sort of a shorter length on it. And then this silver tone with this clear enamel or acrylic overlay so that it reflects through the color. It looks really pretty. And really, honestly, I think I would call that reversible. You can wear it with either side facing out. Because I have it embossed here on the back. Super, super pretty. Chico's really does jewelry well. Okay, here are the ends with these 2 beads. The silver tone extender and lobster clasp. Got a 7.5-inch drop and an 8.5-inch drop and a 3-inch pendant. And I'm guessing about a 4-inch extender here. 4.5-inch extender. I think if Chico's quit making clothes, like if they were about to go out of business, I think more people would be sad about the jewelry going away than they would about the clothes. Not that there's anything wrong with the clothes. I just think the jewelry probably has more fans than the clothes do. This is number 8. And it's $10, which is a steal. That is absolutely a bargain for a beautiful piece of Chico's. Honestly, if you want to invest in a jewelry collection now, that will be worth a lot of money later. I say go for building a Chico's collection. Because I think just the everyday things today, just like Avon was everyday stuff back in the day. So many things were just everyday stuff back in the day, which today, they're very sought after. And I think that's what Chico's is going to end up being. So here we go. I did a short about this one, so I can tell you all the great details on this one. This is faceted glass beads, pretty large ones, and then small faceted glass beads, some black and some this mirrored silver color. I used silver tone bead caps, and that just adds extra dimension and extra sparkle. Then I alternated the black and silver ones, and then when I got up here to the top, I used just even smaller ones just to sort of make it graduate smaller as it goes up around the back of your neck. So there's the overall, mostly overall design. It won't all fit on the screen, but it's got a about a 10-inch drop, and I forgot how long the extender is. About a 2-inch extender. That's silver tone lobster clasp. And you saw this being made. And if you didn't catch that short, just go catch it, and you can see this necklace being, or actually not a short, it's a whole video of this necklace being made. And there is leather cord running all the way through the inside. It's hand knotted right here. And then they're just threaded on for this section. And then it's hand knotted in between just the larger beads as you get down to the front. I like the weight on this one. I like the movement on this one. And I really like working with the leather on it. Some of these beads sit a little crooked because of just the nature of the knot. But when you're wearing it, like when it's loose like this, and the beads kind of, you know, fall in different directions, it won't do that when you're wearing it. It'll, you know, it'll pull out straight like that when you're wearing it. But there it is. I really enjoyed making this one. I love the feel of this one. But there it is, and that is our number 9. And that one is, that one's going to be $9. And I'll tell you right now, that's a bargain for this, because work went into it. Lots of work went into this one. There we go, 9 for 9. Let's see, what are we going to pull out now? Oh, this is one from the craft lot that Francis at Sassy Mingo sent me. And I did a short about it where the design just wasn't working out for me. The design at the end of that short really just reminded me of something that a 1980s rapper would have worn. It made me think of the guy that wore the giant clocks around his neck in the 1980s. It made me think about that. So I decided to take off the giant chain, you know, that was draped around the outside and everything, and instead just put a more understated chain on it, and then took off all of that stuff that was, you know, going around the sides, and here we are with it. And what was wrong with it? This was a J. Crew necklace, and it had these holes on the side, which now have rhinestones over them, and that's part of why I had that chain going around. I didn't want just holes sitting there. I wanted them to, they needed to be functional to look like they were there on purpose, so that's why I attached chain to them. But I thought, you know, I can just cover them up with rhinestones and then get rid of that big chunky loop around with the extra gold chain. So on the back, you can kind of see right there where the holes were, right there on the edge. But I just covered them with rhinestones right there and right there. And I think that looks a lot better with just that and the gold tone chain. So here is this one. It's number, well, let's give you a drop measurement on it. It's a 13-inch drop, and there's no extender. And the whole pendant from top to bottom is 3 inches, and it's about 2 inches across. And there we are. So that's our number 10. And we'll do that one for $8. here's something that I got actually in order to complete a project. I was repairing something for somebody and I needed some rhinestones of a certain size and I couldn't find any. So I thought I'll just buy something that I can harvest the stones out of. And I was looking for these little Navette stones and, well, never mind. I bought this so I could harvest stones out of it. But then I ended up not using it. And right now as I'm talking to you, I'm seeing that it's missing a stone right there. So I'll add this to the collection of stuff that I'm going to sit down and do a live. Maybe next week. I'm going to sit down and do a live about making craft lots. Like make craft lots with me kind of video. Let's see, I think we have some sterling to test right here. If I remember right, this has a mark on it. There it is. Let's see. Yeah, right there's the 925 on the clasp. So we're going to test it. This is a glass. And the reason I know it's glass and not smoky quartz, just at a glance, of course, when you look closely, you can just tell anyway. But just at a glance, I can tell it's not because they're all identical. They're all identical shapes. And smoky quartz, being a stone, is not going to split identically every time you make a facet cut on it. So this is glass. Then we have turquoise, and I'm not sure what this stone would be right here. But there we are. It's really pretty, a nice layering necklace. With these gorgeous colors. So we will confirm that 925 stamp is telling us the truth. And I'll see if I can test the chain. With the texture on this chain, there's not really a way to put a stamp on it. But I would assume that it would be also sterling, if the clasp is. And there we are. Positive for sterling on the chain and the clasp. And this necklace you may recognize from the video where I found these. It's in a surprises at the thrift store short is where you would have seen this. So where's my little bag for this one? Did I lose my bag already? Here it is. So we're on number 11. And I'll do this one. Let's just do this one for $7. Okay. Okay, I'll do these right in a row. There were 3 of these. Here's the other one. Or maybe 2 of them were in the same bag together. No? Well, there's another piece that goes with these somewhere in this pile. There it is. Okay, so something I marked out right here, restyle chain belt into necklace. And then that's why I had used all that chain on here. It came from a chain belt. So this is the chain that I took off that you would have seen in that short, but that I ended up taking off of that J. Crew upcycle that is. And instead I made something else with it. I made this little matching set. I'm going to sell it separately. But I had all these coins that I was saving not actual coins, just like little just coins for jewelry. I was saving these for a different project entirely, but I decided to make this with it. This was at the end of the chain belt. This is part of the chain belt. All of this chain is. But I made a necklace and a bracelet. This is a J. Crew toggle, a senorita clasp with a little coin on that. And then the coins, I didn't have any more left to put on the earrings, but I did have 2 of these little end beads from the belt. So there all of these are. So let's give you all the details first on the necklace. It has a drop of 8 inches, a really short little 1-inch extender, not really enough to speak of, but I just wanted to be able to use that little bead at the end, or kind of a large bead actually. And the chain's graduated, so it's smaller here at the back. The part that goes around your neck is smaller, and then it's wider right here in the front. And then these little coins, and I don't know if these have specific symbols on them or if they're just like stuff people made up. Well, one, I guess it's supposed to be French. It says a French Republic, and then I guess like a little Roman soldier on a couple of these. Let's see, yeah, there are 2 over here. Oh, some more Roman soldiers. So that's what we have. And then the back, just have all these different little symbols on the backs of them. And there's our necklace. Number 12, this one is. I'm talking like Yoda now. And we'll do this one for $7. Some people really like their coin jewelry. Okay, now the bracelet. Same chain from the same chain belt. A little bit of a smaller coin on this one. SALVTU. I don't know, maybe that means something, maybe. It's just some letters that they put together. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Yeah, that generally happens. Normally what I do, and I can't do that right now, oops, is I'll like push my arm up against a wall to trap the bracelet from sliding off while I get it clasped with the other hand. I'm not going to try a long time with this because I'm sure that's not really exciting to watch. Okay, there we go. So there it is on, and with the little coin hanging down. So the clasp even looks nice if you want to wear it like that with the clasp showing. And then let's take it back off and give you a size on it. It's about a 7 1/4, 7 to 7 1/4. And that's number 13. And I'll do that for 6. And then here are the earrings, just very simple, same chain, it's the smaller chain at the top end of the necklace. That's what this is. And then these just little lightweight beads. And the beads are acrylic, I believe. The chain is gold tone. The earrings are, and I'll bring Earlene over in just a minute to show you how those look on. But from the top of the wire to the bottom of the earring is about 3 inches. And here comes Earlene. Right, Earlene is still not staying in her acrylic stand, so she's in timeout, and we're using lift Earlene. But there we are. That's how those look on. And we'll do these. These are number 14. We'll do these for 4. These were a lot simpler to make. So 7, 6, and 4, that's the 17 separately. If you're the first one to ask if you want all 3, and you're the first one to ask before any one of them gets sold, I'll do all 3 as a set for 15, but you'll have to say so. And of course, if somebody, bought the bracelet, then, I can't do that deal for you anymore. So if you want it, you'll have to speak up quick and make sure you're the first one in with it. But I will do all 3 right here for a group price of 15, and they are 17 as it stands separately. Okay, well, let's see. Here is something. This came in that lot that I got from Suzie at Dragonfly Bees, which I'm going to have. I mentioned Frances a minute ago. I'm going to have a link to her channel in my description, and I'll put a link to Suzie's channel also in my description. Suzie had sent me a craft lot that actually had some really nice wearables in it, and this was one of them, and I offered it up. Let's see, May 13th was when I offered this one up, but it didn't get bought. I was really surprised that it didn't, so I'm going to bring it to you one more time. It has these really pretty colors in it, all of these earth tones, oranges and browns, just really, really pretty. And here's the chain. It has these little bars held together with these jump rings, this little brass tone or gold tone beads separating the bigger, these sort of free-form beads. And then snail chain, cable chain, and then this bar link. But really, really pretty. I was really surprised that that one didn't get snapped up. There's not an extender on it, and the drop is about 15 inches. And the little seal on this is just all torn to heck and back. So let's get a new bag for it. This one is going to be number 15. And we're going to do it for, let's just do that for $3. I think that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was first time around, was $3. Okay. Now let's do a piece that I made. This is some gold tone paper clip chain. This is a J. Crew Senorita clasp. And this is a rhodonite cabochon that I hand set in this little gold tone filigree setting. And it's made so that the big Senorita clasp is worn in the front. The pendant hangs down from the clasp, like that, with this extra little rhinestone that actually came with the clasp. There we go. So that's how it all looks. That pretty rhodonite, the pink, and the black veining in it. And it's a new paperclip chain that it's all hanging on. This is a stone that I got from Fire Mountain Gems. I got it when I was making that Les Bernard upcycle. I bought some extra stones at that time just because I needed extras in case something didn't work. So this ended up being left from that project, and so I decided to set it and make it into a pendant. So it has about a 7.5 inch drop. This is new chain. This is upcycled J. Crew closure. And this is a vintage setting that I bought from a vintage jewelry supplier. All crafted together by me. So this is number 16. And this one's going to be $8. And I have a Unikite necklace coming up too that is very similar to this one. It's prong set. Well, let me show you the setting. I didn't show you that. It's prong set, but I do have a little bit of epoxy underneath there. Just because these prongs are so short, I wanted to really remove any possibility of the stone falling out. So I put a little speck of, and it doesn't show on the back. I was very careful to make sure the glue, the epoxy is hidden underneath, but it holds super strong. And just wanted to take away any possibility of the stone falling out. So you have those little shallow prongs, plus some epoxy holding that in place. Okay, let's see. This one is from my personal wardrobe. I've just decided to move her along. This is a Taxco ring. It's sterling with some abalone in there. And here is the Taxco mark right there. And another mark right there, also indicating Taxco. And if it's Taxco, it is sterling, but I always like to be open and upfront with showing you so that you can see for yourself. And there it is. And it's a bypass ring. Sometimes I would tighten it up and wear it on my pinky, sometimes on my ring finger, but it's really pretty, very simple, very feminine and delicate. And it's a nice little piece of Taxco. That's number 17. And that's going to be $10 for this beautiful abalone and sterling Taxco ring. So I mentioned yesterday William Spratling. He, I believe, is the one who started Taxco because he, I think, went there to visit and just saw the incredible artistry that the people in this town did with silver. And so he decided to, I guess, make that into a hot spot, or like the place to be a sterling artist, I suppose. And so that's where it all got started. Okay, we're going to have to replace this because it looks like this stone just fell off of this piece. So this is a J. Crew necklace that was also actually in that lot from Francis at Sassy Mingo. And it was broken. Well, no, it wasn't broken. It was that one of these little pieces had a missing stone. So I took that piece out. I already had this piece lying around, coincidentally, also from a J. Crew necklace from a really long time ago. This was just in my stash. So I took off the little element that looks like this, that had a missing stone. Actually, it was the stone on the end that was missing. I took that piece out because the stone wasn't here. I couldn't just replace it. And then I got this piece out of my stash, this little center snowflake looking piece, and just filled in the space with that. So I have a whole new look here, and I'm not seeing where, this might just be a loose little random rhinestone. Oh no, it goes right here. So I'm going to get my epoxy and replace that right now. Okay. Epoxy has like the two sides to it, the adhesive and then the hardener. And you have to squeeze it until both sides are coming out at the same time, because you have to have equal amounts of the two. And then you want to cap your epoxy immediately, because it starts to set up. You have 5, once you've mixed it, once you've exposed it to air, especially once you've exposed the two elements to each other, you have 5 minutes to do what you're going to do. And then it starts to set and harden. So there we go. It cleans off easily while it's still wet, but you do have to work quickly. All right, high-tech tools here on Misty at Skeeter Jones. Okay, so I'll put a little bit right here in the setting. A little dab will do ya. And then also, I forgot to get out my stone setting tool. That's also pretty high tech. I'm across the room, so hopefully you can still hear me. I have this tool that I use, state of the art. It's a toothpick with some of the like putty, like poster putty that you use to stick posters to the wall with. It's perfect for picking up a stone and setting it in place. It's just hard to do that with your fingers. It looks like I have a little too much glue inside that setting, actually. I'm going to have to dab a little bit of that out. There we go. Here we are. And I'm going to leave this out because I want air to be able to circulate around it. I don't want to trap it with its fumes and everything. This is how I keep it fresh and ready for next time. Always have to take care of your high-tech tools. Okay, and then like even that little bit, you know, too bad I don't already know of some other use for the rest of this glue right now. I'll just have to let that go. So I'm going to go ahead now and wipe this out of the little mixing tray, or else it'll harden just like that. Which you can see has already happened a little bit, you know, through the various uses. That's all hardened epoxy down in the bottom there. And then I don't want to spread this stuff all over the place. So I'm going to fold it up inside my paper towel and then move right along. So this really was a relatively quick fix. It involved just taking off one of these little elements, attaching this piece right here, and then just now replacing that stone. So really quick fix right there. What number are we on? This will be number 17. And we'll just do that one for $6. I'm not going to put it in the bag. I'm going to let it sit out and give that stone some time to not be trapped with fumes inside of a plastic bag. And a reason for using epoxy, just so you know, to replace a stone, it's not going to mess up the back of the stone. If you use super glue to set a stone, you'll see that it turns your stone cloudy and messes the stone up. So epoxy is much better for doing that. Here is that other setting. I told you I had another one with Unikite. Here it is, same thing. It's the stone, and I got it at the same time as the Les Bernard stones. And again, there's epoxy that you can't see because I took care to keep it where it wouldn't be seen. So it's in this same type of filigree setting. This Unikite with a pretty moss green and pink. And this is not a Senorita clasp. This is actually a D-ring from, oh goodness, I think from a purse chain. Yeah, I think it's from a purse chain. So I took that D-ring off, hung the pendant from it like that. And this little bead here is just to conceal the seam where the D-ring closes. And then I put 3 jump rings just to make it look a little more substantial. Put 3 jump rings through to hold the gold tone paper clip chain. And so this is how this one looks. Really like that. This paper clip chain was, I think, also sent to me by Jeanette, by Gigi's Gems. See, it has an 8-inch drop. The pendant, including the D-ring, is 2 inches. A while back, she had sent me some for some crafty stuff that included lots of really nice chain, and this is one of those, I believe. But there we go. I really like how those turned out. I like using these vintage settings. I got them from, I get those from a few places. One is Jan's Jewelry Supplies. Another is an Etsy seller called Rabbit Rabbit. I like to use them. Well, I use several of them actually on Etsy. But anyway, there we go. So pretty, and I love this stone with the moss green and the pink. A pretty little filigree setting with this nice little bail. There we go. And this one is number 18. Is that number 18? Yeah, I think it is. No, it's not 18. What are we talking about? Oh, it is number 18. I double numbered already. So this one will be also $8. The rhodonite one was 8, so I'll also do this Unikite one for 8. And I'll show you the 2 that I double numbered. This one's number 18. What I double numbered was the Taxco ring and this necklace that I just did, the J. Crew upcycle. So we'll say the ring will be 17A and the J. Crew upcycle necklace will be 17B. Just when I thought I wasn't going to double number. Okay, here are some little bee earrings. They're really cute. Little silver tone with these smoky colored rhinestones and clear rhinestones. These cute little bees. They are unbranded. Silver tone. And about 3/4 of an inch long, about 3/4 of an inch across also. And so let's bring over Erlene. There we go. Look how cute. Super, super cute. Lots of people love their bee jewelry. She needs some new backs. So let me get those. I said she needs new backs. I should say they, because there are 2 of them here. There we go, brand new backs on our little bees. And these are number 19. And we will do these for $6. They're really pretty. They're nice and substantial. Lots of little detail on them. They're dimensional there. And they're not super heavy, but they have enough weight to them that they feel like quality. They feel like they're very well made. Okay, here's another one that I made. I've gotten this little heart lock. It's a locket that's shaped like a heart. This is from, these are links from a book chain. The circles, the round links, and these. I opened those up from a book chain just to add some detail and interest to this piece. Then there's this double chain, this bronze tone chain, or it might actually be brass. But put this little end bead on the extender. Lobster clasp. And it's double chain with these larger links, and then you have the book chain links here, and then double on the smaller links, and then more book chain, and then this pretty little locket that I'll show you in just a second. And then I have 3 jump rings here just to make that look more substantial. And that's how it looks when you wear it. It really is so cute on. And it is a locket. And it has a magnetic closure right here. And the little keyhole goes all the way through. But how cute is that? That one's really sweet. This is some pretty substantial book chain. It took some effort to get that little this link right here to open, because I had to take another piece off of it, and that's the case for all 4 of these little bar links, or whatever you call these kind of links here. But there it is. You have all this little scrolly floral work on the front of the heart. It's hinged right there. The back is just smooth. I don't think it's actually really old. I think it's just made to look that way. It came to me in a lot. But there we go. And it's number, let's see, I want to say 19. Oh, the bees were 19. These are 20. This is 20. And we're going to do this one for $7. It is so pretty. I love the little scroll work on the front of the heart. And I love that it's a locket and it's shaped like a lock. So I enjoyed making that one. Okay, here is, oh, this is sterling. I think this came somewhere along the line in something I got from Goodwill. It was from Shop Goodwill, or it was from a Blue Box, something. But very mod looking, in my opinion. So you have these individual little kind of spiral triangles. And here are the links on the chain. Shepherd's hook clasp. And nowhere on this is, or nowhere on it that I could find, is any kind of 925 mark. But it looked like sterling, so I tested it. And I don't remember if everything on here came up sterling, but some of it did. Okay, that's the little triangles. Here is a chain link. And here's the shepherd's hook. And these jump rings that are holding the spiral triangles together. Let's see if I can get one of those tested. Okay. It's been a while since I've tested it. There is some sterling here. I do remember that. I just can't remember if everything on it was sterling. And yeah, everything here is sterling. So really pretty. And like I said, just very mod looking. I love the geometric design. I like these this chain. Like it's wider on one end, more narrow on the other end. There we go. It looks artsy, artistic, mod. But no 925 marks on it, but it is positive for sterling. Very pretty. And you can clasp it wherever you like. But at its longest, at the very end, I guess where it's intended to be clasped, is a 7.5 inch drop. So that's going to be number 21. And this one is going to be $15. Okay, this one from yesterday. You may recall this squash blossom that I was thinking Native American. And I really do still think Native American, but everything I saw when I tried to research it kept telling me more likely Mexico. But I don't know, I just am thinking it's native. However, I don't have any confirmation of that. I don't have any authority to make that judgment. But we are looking at sterling here. The tests for all of that are in yesterday's video. And honestly, the pricing was all over the place. The highest recent sold I saw for something like this was close to $400. And then I saw a lot around the 50, 60, 80, 90 mark. So this is a really substantial piece of amethyst. This is a substantial amount of sterling. And some beautiful artistry here. I really think I couldn't find an exact piece like this, which leads me to believe this is probably an artisan piece. You even have this detail at the bottom right there. So I'm probably going to list this. I'm going to throw it out on eBay. If it doesn't sell here, I'm going to throw it out on eBay for $150 and just see what happens. I am going to offer it here for, I'm going to offer it here for $60. This is number 22. Well below half of what I'm going to list it for on eBay if it doesn't sell here. So if you're in the market for something like this, this might be your chance to get a really great deal on it. And why am I marking it down so much if I don't have to list it on eBay? Because I wouldn't have to list it on eBay. You'd be saving me creating the listing, doing all the photography, and all of that stuff. So, and plus, I really like to price things lower for my viewers and subscribers because you're helping me along this little journey and helping me build my channel. And I like to offer you lower prices just to thank you for that. Okay, these earrings came to me in a lot a long time ago. They may have come in a Gigi's Gems. They may have come from another lot, and I really can't remember who else was sending me lots a while back. But these deserve some love. I may put them in the craft lot. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to offer them up first, and then I'll put them in our little collective lot that I'll be making all the different craft lots out of one day when I do that live. But I'm going to offer these up right now because somebody might want these. They need work. They've already been broken. One has already broken and been soldered back together. That's what that little blob is. That's a different color metal right there. Someone has soldered the, I don't know where it broke. Maybe the clip maybe broke off and it was soldered back on. I'm really not sure, but there's a little bit of corrosion right there. Probably, there we go. That corrosion may have happened because the two metals reacting with each other. Maybe the corrosion happened as a result of the soldering process. But it is all on the back. It's not like caked up goo. It's metal. It's solder. It doesn't show from the front. And these I think are vintage. These I think are very vintage. And my definition of very vintage is 50 years or more. Keeping in mind that vintage means 20 years to 99. Antique means 100 years plus. And very vintage is just my own little thing I came up with. And very vintage to me is 50 years or more, 50 to 99. And I think these fit that. I really do. I could be wrong, but I'm going to offer them up here. If they don't sell here, these will go into the lot or the collection that I'll be pulling out of to make craft lots. So this is, if I can write, let's see, 23 is where we are. And I'll just do these for $3 since they need that work on them. But somebody might want to work specifically with these but not want an entire craft lot. That's why I'm offering them up. So if somebody wants just these, here they are. This is also from my personal stash. It's a sterling bracelet that I am moving along. I think it's sterling. Take that back. This is either sterling or a good sterling faker. Actually, it's marked right there, but let's do the check. And the clasp is marked also right there. Oh, no, 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 no. The clasp, I don't think is going to be positive. Well, I don't know, maybe. And these links, I really like these links. The links, maybe. The clasp, I'm not so sure about. Let's see what happens. Okay, so here are the links. This is the clasp. The clasp is not sterling, but the links are. And that is a nice, sturdy, substantial, thick, heavy bracelet with these thick, heavy sterling links. That's how it looks on. I've loved it. I'm just moving it along so someone else can enjoy it. The size on it is about a 7 to 7 1/4. And it's number 24. And it's going to be $12. And that's a deal for a nice chunky sterling bracelet. Let's see here. Okay, viewer Stephanie a while back had sent me a craft lot, and I did an unboxing of that craft lot on the channel. If I can find it and figure out how to do that, I'll link that video. But as one of the things she sent me, she didn't send me this. This is something I'd already had, but she sent some stretch bracelets. This was a stretch bracelet with this dyed howlite, but the stones, some of the stones were loose, and this is a stone that just fell right out of the setting. It's a dyed howlite, and if I had remembered this piece a minute ago while I still had that epoxy mixed up, I could have gone ahead and done that then, but we'll do it now. Let's see, got my paper towel, got my high-tech tools, and a little mixing paddle. Let's mix up a little bit more epoxy. This comes in bigger amounts, I guess, you know, like larger tubes and all that, but for making jewelry, it takes so little. I don't really need a bigger container of it. So this time I mix up just a little speck, just enough to get the job done. I'm going to dab it around the edges of the setting. The setting is this little, like, native looking bird, western looking bird. And it's a pendant and brooch. Right, there's the pin on it. And it just needed a stone. And then I was going through my craft supplies and, well, not craft supplies, but my little pieces that were waiting for something. Found my little bird and then remembered that, oh, I have those bracelets that Stephanie sent. And it says, viewer Stephanie. To my knowledge, she does not have a channel, else I would link her channel in my description. But definitely shouting her out. She has been a subscriber of mine for some time. And I appreciate her. And just out of the blue one day, she wanted to send me some craft items. I'm still trying to find the perfect little project for her, because I want to make something for her as a thank you for this craft lot that she sent me. A lot of times it takes quite a while for me to get back to somebody with a with a piece. Like when somebody gifts me some craft items, I like to try to make a piece for them as a thank you gift. And sometimes that process takes a while. Okay, I don't have my clamps up here, so I'm gonna have to step away to get a clamp. And this stone is big enough that I don't have to use my little toothpick with the poster putty on it. So there we are. I don't like the glue to show around the back, so I will clean that up. While it's still wet. And then I'm going to step away and get my clamp to clamp this down, and I'll be right back. Okay, now I have it clamped with these narrow ones that it won't touch the edges on the back side here, but I did find that the glue did kind of come out around the edges right there more than I wanted it to, so I don't like for glue to show, but in this case I think it's going to have to show a little bit. But the good thing about epoxy is it dries crystal clear, so it won't be like a big, white or hazy looking blob on the back. It'll just look crystal clear back there. So let's, well, this is still a little bit pliable. Let's make sure that stone is exactly centered the way I want it. Yeah. And then put that clasp on, or clamp, to hold it in place. And then we'll come back and put a price on that and give you all the details and everything. So, oh, and I left this sitting there to harden. That's great. Yeah, so it's not going to clean off, but that's okay. So let's move right along, and then we'll get back to that one. This, I don't think I have everything to do this one. This is another rhodonite, and I set that in gunmetal, little gunmetal setting. And this is a unikite that I set in gunmetal. And I was going to make necklaces with those, I think, with this chain, but I still have some work to do with these rhinestones. So we'll come back to this one in a different video when I know what I'm able to do with those rhinestones. I have to see how to work with those before I dig into them. So that's what I mean by I have to see what I can do. I don't really know how to work with those right now. This is the setting that that little piece of howlite came out of for the bird. This is some chain that I had left from a repair someone asked me to do for them. I just threw a bunch of stuff in here. Okay, this one's going to be kind of higher. This is a star sapphire that I got this little stone from Stephanie at the Steph Style. I got a jewelry jar from her, and this star sapphire was in that jar. It was loose, and I set it in this gold-plated setting. I hand set that, and it is going to stay because those prongs are high enough that it's going to keep that from popping out. But it's a 10 karat gold plated, I think 10 karat. Let's see. Yeah, 10 karat gold plate on the setting and on this chain. This pretty delicate chain right here. And the whole necklace just looks delicate and so pretty. Completely hand set this loose stone into the setting and then hung it on the chain. There we are. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This one is an 8 1/4 inch drop, and the gold plating is also on the chain. Let me zoom back out here for you. So it's not just the setting with the bail. The prong setting is 10 karat gold plated, but the chain is also. This is number 25. And is that everything? This was a crafty piece. It's now chain belt into a purse chain, and I've already done that. I put these rings. I make notes for myself sometimes on a bag so I can remember by the time I get the supplies back out, then I can recall what I was going to do with them. Okay. So I think I was going to do some stuff with this chandelier crystal and hang it on there. I believe that's exactly what I was going to do. So let's pop off this wire that came with the crystal that originally suspended this crystal from a chandelier. I've been collecting a good bit of those, actually. Those being chandelier crystals. I've been collecting those because I've got some projects in mind. Okay, I was going to put a cap maybe on the top of here, I think. I'm not sure I can do that though. I'm not sure that'll work with the way these things are made. Let's see. I don't think this thick gauge of wire is going to work. The way that chandelier crystals are drilled, if you can see, they're drilled like a letter L. So I'm not sure really that I can put a normal wire through that, especially one of a thicker gauge like this. This was maybe just going to be an experimental. Oh, look, I was able to get it through there. But let's see. Maybe I need to come in through the top and do it that way. No. What I'm trying to figure out is how I can get this end to come all the way flush with the side of the crystal. But I think I would have to make the wire continually curve around in order to do that. So let's experiment for a moment, shall we? Okay, so far It seems to be working a little bit. Ah, I did it, almost. Almost. Okay. Maybe. That's what it looks like now. Of course, I don't want to break or chip this crystal or scratch it and make it look bad. Now we unroll it. Okay. Is that flush enough? Let me bend it upward a little bit. That's a little bit more flush. Let me try to bend it upward just a little bit more one more time. And that did it. Look at that. Flush up against the crystal. Okay, that's what I wanted. Now I need to make a loop on the top of here. So I need my looper. Love my looper, but this thing needs to be straightened out. And I just heard my notification go off. Let me check. Because if the grocery delivery is almost here, I need to put the dogs up because they'll want to eat the delivery person. Not really. They'll just want lots of pets from the delivery person. And they've learned that lots of delivery people will give them treats if they freak out enough. So since they're going to get rewarded for freaking out, they tend to freak out a good bit. So let's see, we'll do it this direction. And look at that, a nice little loop right there on top. And you know, I might be able to put a cap on that after all. So this is going to have some memory in it now since it's made a loop, so I can unloop it. And it should, I think, go pretty much back to its original loop shape. Ideally, I should have done this before making the loop. And it would appear that the hole in the top of this cap is not wide enough to accommodate that gauge of wire. Let's see if I can do something about that. Let's see, maybe now it'll fit. Let's see. There we go. And then now put that loop back the way it first formed. Again, ideally, that loop, or this cap should have been put on before I made the loop. So now I'm going to form the cap down to the crystal. I'm going to come off camera to do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, got it. It took some work, but I think I need to finagle this little side one more time. But I got the cap mostly kind of shaped the way I wanted it to come, down around the top of the crystal. It took removing a little piece right there and the one directly across from it right there. But I think I got it now. And now I'm going to attach it. There we go. Attach it to this purse chain, just like that. And for that, I will need this nice jump ring, this heavy gauge, and I think you can probably tell that the grocery delivery just arrived. So actually I'll need a smaller ring so that I can fit it through that loop, and then I have to go rescue the grocery delivery person. So I will be right back. I have to get out there before they decide that they're gonna die. And then maybe I don't need to say that word on YouTube. Maybe I need to get out there before they decide that it wouldn't be healthy for them to deliver my groceries, because I don't want them to leave. I'll be right back. Rescued the delivery people. So here is our purse chain, and it has these this style clasps, so you can clasp it to like the handles of your bag. And then this pretty chandelier crystal hangs down on one side, just looking really cute. And yeah, I've been collecting a lot of, and this is crystal, I believe, because feels too heavy to be glass. I've been collecting a lot of these because I have so many jewelry ideas that involve using these crystals. So I haven't made any of them yet. I have one coming up that hopefully I'll be doing a video on it after I get back home from staying with my mom. So we'll see if I'm able to get to it then. But this was part of a chain belt, not part of the same chain belt that this whole set came from. This was a different chain belt, and I just had this little scrap of it left after I made some other things with it. So I added these two rings, and then you saw the crystal right here being added, and there it is. And these are, as it was represented to me when I bought them, they are antique crystals at that. So this is, let's see, where are we right now? Is the Star Sapphire the last thing we showed? Number 25? I'll go with it. Hopefully I'm not double numbering again. So I'll call this number 26. And this one is going to be $8, mostly just because of that crystal right there. I am paying up for those. I'm planning on making some premium pieces with that. Some fancy schmancy pieces. Number 26 for $8 for this cute little purse chain. I was losing my words for a minute. And my purse charms and purse chains are typically $12 and up whenever I list those. So let's pull back over the J. Crew. And there's our stone, nicely set, nicely dry. So it's going to go into its bag now. And remember, that one was 17B for $6. And we'll look at that bird right there. It's like a phoenix type of bird. Let's see, the chain bell is 26, so the bird right here will be 27. It no longer needs a stone. And this one's going to be, let's do that one for $5. So what it is, this is a new, it came to me in a lot, in a craft lot, but it was on the card. So it's new, this little silver tone bird, like native style bird, with this now dyed howlite stone in the middle. And it can be a brooch, or it can be a pendant, or if you want to hang it on a purse charm hook, it can be a purse charm. As a matter of fact, I'll even offer that up. If you want me to include a purse charm clasp, add $5. But I will only do that at the buyer's request. So if you want a purse charm added to it, or a purse charm clasp, I'll either toss it in the bag or I will attach it as you request. It'll be $5 to buy just the pendant brooch. It'll be $10 if you want a purse charm clasp added to this. Not $10 to add it, but $10 total. So there we are, that's number 27. And then I'm debating, let's see, I'm doing research on these. These do not have, these were in the Surprises at the Thrift Store short. They don't have branded wires. And Tiffany earrings, the wires are going to be branded. However, everything about the marks that are on the actual hoops, everything about those signatures and marks looks authentic. Tiffany does not authenticate their pieces, so I'm just having to rely on a bunch of research myself. And those signatures do look authentic. These weigh what they're supposed to weigh to be authentic. So these came in a couple of styles. One style of this is Seville. Elsa Peretti was the designer. Seville was the design. And these came in a style where the wire was just directly part of the hoop and it just came up and hooked over. But then also there were some where there was a separate wire that was threaded through a hole like this, but without extra jump rings. It just had a it's like a head pin, but it had like a bead at the end of it. Not a dangly bead, but just like a little ball tip. And that's what would be up against the front of the hole, and then up coming out the back of the hole was the wire continuing up to form the hoop. And this looks like the style that these were. I'm still researching that. These are sterling. They passed all the sterling test. There is some pretty significant pitting in this one right here. And what can cause that a lot of times is exposure to salt water, exposure to chlorine, wearing it in the shower. So you can really destroy your sterling by exposing it to those things, because it breaks down the sterling from the inside out. It breaks down the bonds of on the chemical level of what makes sterling sterling. It really eats away at the alloy, and it just will destroy your sterling. And this type of pitting looks like that. So I'm going to see maybe if I can just take these wires off. These wires are definitely not Tiffany. I'm going to take these wires off and see if they will repair these and add new wires. If they do, that means, because they will only work on their own jewelry. So if Tiffany does do that repair, then that automatically means that they're authentic. But it will take some investment. It'll take about anywhere from $70 to $90 probably to put wires on, but then also to have this pitting polished out. That'll be some more expense also. So altogether, it could run, $100, $150 to just get the repairs done. So I'm going to have to really think about whether I want to do that or just keep these in my personal collection. Maybe see if I can find just some Tiffany wires with that ball tip on them and do the repair myself, because everything else about these does seem authentic. So we'll see. But for now, still researching for now. And this is another project I was going to do. Let's see, we'll do a separate video about it, but what this is, I have some labradorite right here. See, I won't be using that one with it, but this labradorite pendant. I have this sterling chain. This is an earring that has clearly seen better days. These little rose screwbacks that I got a while back. I'm thinking about taking the screws off and making those into pendants for this project as well. And then this is another chandelier, obviously not crystal, but another chandelier piece. These are sterling beads, and this is sterling and amethyst. So I've got some projects right here, and this is a ring that I'm going to make into, it's broken right there. Take it out and show you. It's broken right here. That's how I got it in a box a long time ago. So I'm going to make this into a pendant. I forgot what kind of stone this is, but it is a gemstone. So this just says India 925 on the back. So I have some sterling projects coming up. I really enjoyed making that necklace out of that a sapphire earring, and oh, I forgot the name on the other earring. But a couple of earrings and some of these, actually, some from this same lot of little sterling beads. I made a necklace, and I really enjoyed making that one. Thankfully, someone else liked it too and bought that one. I hope you're enjoying it. But I'll make a separate video with all of these pieces to do some sterling crafting. And then when I figure out what I can do with these pink rhinestones, I'll make a necklace with this rhodonite and this unakite pendant that I've set into, well, stones that I've set into these gunmetal pendants. So that's coming up. So here are the things that we went over today, and I really, really appreciate you joining me for it. I do enjoy making these, and I hope you enjoy watching them as much as I enjoy making them. Please give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Share it with a friend who you think might also enjoy it. Oh, thank you, viewer Stephanie. And leave me a comment and click subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.